Alright, off the dome, let's go. I pray I have not already recorded this video. I pray I haven't already put this idea out because it's something I've been thinking about for a while. Practically the entire year. I just had not recorded it yet, and I find myself waiting for my younger brother right now. And as I wait, I'm like, you know what, let's finally get this out of the way. So, we don't really want the lives we say we want, right? That's me, that is you, that is majority of the people. I know this majority of the people, you know. I'm not saying it's every single person, right? Can that change? Yes, it can change. But what do I mean by we don't really want the lives we say we want? I'll explain. Let's go into it. So, it's a thing I came across while examining what discipline is and what discipline really should be, and why we feel the need to feel motivated. There's no ways. This boy is loud. Ha! Wait. Let me close these windows. Cool. That should help a little bit. So, why is it that we feel okay? The radio switched on. So, why is it that we feel the need to be motivated for us to get work done, right? Why do we feel like we have to log in? That is the more important one. Why do we feel like we have to log in? Why is it that although we know exactly what we need to do to get to the next stage in our lives, whatever it is that you've been dreaming about for some time, with me it being me hitting $10,000 a month, let's say, why is it that we know exactly what we need to do to get there, yet we don't take those steps every single day? It feels dumb, right? Becoming rich is simple, but it's not easy. And I'm like, why is that? Why is it that we just can't do what we need to do? Just do it. If you showed up every day and you did what you know you have to do, you would get there. I was asking myself, why? Why are we like this? Why do we need to be motivated? Why do we need to lock in, right? And let's examine that word as well. Let's examine that term, locking in. Why do you need to lock in? Why do you feel that to do the work you need to do, you have to tie yourself up? Let's think about it conceptually. You have to lock in, tie yourself up, be locked up in your room, be held captive, and get whatever you have to get done. Why does it have to feel like that? Why do we feel like we need to do that? Well, I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, well, this work, as much as we feel the need to be disciplined, as much as we say, okay, I need to lock in, as much as you say, there's a season of my life where I was locked in, why does it stop? Why is it a thing which happened at some point and now you're no longer locked in? Why is that the case? And then I thought about it, and I'm like, and it's because we're misguided. It's because we have the wrong perception on what working hard is. We're misguided. You're looking at it the wrong way. And that's the same way with me, right? What needs to happen is an identity shift. Look at whatever morning routine you have. Whether you have a routine or whether you don't, you have a certain set of things you do on a daily basis at a specific time. For me, it's waking up, simple morning routine, washing my face, brushing my teeth, getting my bed done. And I do that without thinking. It's a thing I do without thinking. I don't have to think about it, right? At some point, this work you're trying to do, you trying to lock in, you can't be locked in forever. For starters, you can't be locked in forever. If you want to be a content creator, you can't lock in for the next month and put out content and then slow down. The thing you're trying to become is a content creator. Those people put out content. There's no locking in. You have to be that. Your identity has to be that. Which also touches on another thing, which is discipline isn't what we make it out to be. So there are two core ideas that I'm touching on in this video. Firstly, we don't really want the lives we say we want. Number two, discipline is more about self-identity than it is about perseverance. So, your identity or self-identity has to shift, right? Or you have to stop looking at things the wrong way and understand that I'm not trying to lock in. This is who I have to be. With me, for example, wanting to start my own startup, wanting to build my own startup, I have to be programming on a day-to-day basis. Every single day. I'll have my breaks here and there, of course. But I have to be programming on a very consistent basis. That shouldn't need me to log in. I can't do it for a week and be done. I can't do it for a month and be done and then be like, okay, yeah, that's my logging in. I'm now burnt out. It has to be a part of the things you do normally. That's just your normal work. For people who have jobs, you're not locking in when you go to work. You're just working. That's what you do. That is what you do. That is who you are. That is who you are. I'm not saying you are a wage slave. I'm not calling it any of that. But that's who you are. You're not trying to lock in to get your work done. That's your job. So, yes, we know the things we want in life. We know the lives we want. But we're only looking at the shiny parts of it. We're looking at what looks glittery and glamorous. We're looking at the cars. We're looking at the traveling. We're looking at the food. We're looking at the clothes. We're looking at the jewelry. We're looking at the benefits of that life without looking at what it requires from you on a day-to-day basis. And the funny thing is, those things are what get you there. They are what gets you to the point where you get to enjoy the benefits, where you get to reap the rewards of your daily consistent work. And it's the only way you get there. Yet it's the part we don't want to do. And then we're surprised when we haven't gotten where we want to get in life. Ask anybody what their dream life looks like. And not to say there's anything wrong with this answer, but majority of the answers will be positive things. Just the glamorous aspects of that life they want to live. Just the glamorous parts. Just the shiny things, the restaurants and everything. But then have a look at what happens the moment you tell them to do the same thing people who are in that position are doing currently. Work. Start cold calling. Create that account. Create the TikTok page. Start posting. Pick up your camera. Start talking into the mic. Talk while nobody's there. Talk while people are there. Talk while they are there. And that's a horrible example. Because I'm in the car alone anyways. But yeah, talk while they are there. Oh no, I'll start tomorrow. Oh no, I'm not ready. No, I need a brand new phone. My phone's camera is not good. Oh no, I'm still waiting for something. Oh no, I'm still planning it out. I'm still trying to figure myself out. Time. Time. I don't have a watch on me, but here's my left hand. Time. We don't have forever. Oh my god. I don't want to make this philosophical. Two core ideas. But yes, time. You don't have forever. And you'll never be ready. Never ever will you ever feel ready. I've never in my life felt ready. Ever. Yeah, I'm being a dumbass. I've never in my life felt ready. Never. Not a single time. Yet you have to get started. You have to pick up your thing and get started. Get to it. A lot of the videos I make will be a note to self. Note to me, note to Prince. Because I'm really giving you guys the advice that I should be taking. The advice that's going to take me from the current stage I'm at to the next one. I know everything I need to know. There's not a single thing a person can tell me that will magically get me to the next level. I already know everything there is to know. I already know everything. Everything that there is to know to get to the next stage, I already know those things. I'm not saying I know everything in the world. But I already know what I need to know. Right? I have a backlog of just content ideas that have been piling up since early this year. So, I am fed up. I'm fed up and unemployed and broke, I guess. I've graduated. I did my college. They say go to college. I did my 3 years. And because I'm smart, I got an internship in my second year. I was doing side projects. And yet here I am jobless somehow. Anyways, I was on a tangent. I forgot what I was about to say. I am fed up, yes. I am fed up. I thought about it. I'm like, okay, cool. The prince who is living in Cape Town, Mhlanga, Sandton, another country. That prince, what is he doing? What does he wake up and do? Does him waking up at 6 o'clock and hopping on the laptop feel like a job? Or probably. But does it feel like something he has to force himself to do? Does it feel like he has to log in? Does he drag his feet every single day he has to do that? Probably not. Look at the people you look up to. Whether it's a musician, it could be Tyler. And I'm using Tyler as an example because she's probably the biggest artist. Definitely is the biggest artist, in my personal opinion. The biggest artist to come out of South Africa, right? So that it feels close. The example feels close. A person like Tyler, you wanna make music, you are able to sing. Perhaps you have a couple of songs written, but then you haven't recorded any of them. Just letting your talent go to waste. It's just sitting there, rotting. But yeah, just look at the people you look up to. Everybody has role models. Every single person. I don't want to hear a thing. I don't care. Everyone has somebody they look up to or role models. So people they admire. Even if it's not, I look up to this one particular person, but you definitely have someone who is inspiring you, someone who is making you want to chase that life because you saw it somewhere. Otherwise, how do you know about it? Right? Look at those people and realize, although they are at the position you want to be at, they're putting out more work than you. They are putting out more work than you are. You're being outworked by people who are already successful. Look at Drake, bro. Look at how much music Drake puts out. Even if we don't look at Drake, let's look at a person who drops a lot less consistently. Kendrick Lamar. although he drops a lot less consistently, if you're trying to be an artist, I'm pretty sure he's dropping more than you. I'm pretty sure he's dropping more than you. At the end of the day, he puts in more reps. Although he's not dropping all the time, he is always recording. I don't remember the exact number I heard, but there's lots of unreleased music he has. The reps are always being put in. Show up every day. It's your life. In this life, again, it's more about, people don't really want the lives they say they want. People want reward. People want diamonds. People want gold without having to mine for it. And that does not happen unless you are, I don't know, the relative or a good friend of a person who's like that. Then yeah, of course, I don't know about you guys. Personally, I'm gonna retire my parents, so the whole point is, you get what I mean. Right, that's the first part. People don't really want the lives they say they want. You always have to look at it from two perspectives. There's the perspective of enjoyment, and there's the perspective of work. The perspective of showing up every day. And if you look at this, and this is something you do not want, and you feel it's something you won't be able to handle, leave it alone. Leave it alone. You won't be able to handle it. You won't be able to take it. It's too much, man. Working is not easy. Never was. But then also desiring something your whole life is not gonna be easy either, brother or sister. It won't be. It won't be, and it's this one life that we have. And then again, to conclude the second core idea, shift in self-identity. Mentally, you have to become the person who's already there. I don't know how to do that. I don't. But I do know I've had seasons where I was not locking in. I was actually genuinely working on a day-to-day basis. Staying up late. Not because I was forcing myself to, but because I wanted to. And I felt driven, So you do all that, show up every day, change your mindset, mentally become the person you want to physically become. Understand that work is not something you're locking in for. You're not locking in. It's not a lock-in. Don't ever say I need to lock in. Ever. Horrible mindset. Locking in implicitly has a time limit. You're not trying to lock in. You're trying to change the person you are. And that lock-in work is something you're going to do consistently. It's not something which is going to be temporary. So, yeah. That is that. Cheers. Let me record another video. I'm in a flow. I am in a flow.